Greetings farmers and viewers. I'm Sharon. Welcome to our YouTube channel Ivono Farm episode 3. And we want to talk about the Azola farming and production. Thank you. The Azola is called a high protein feed content to our livestock. It is normally fed to our pigs and poultry birds and also to the dairy cows at our farm. And Azola definition is the high protein feed content that contain an average of 40 to 45% of protein. Azola is beneficial to our farm at the following reasons. First reason is that it helps in the bodybuilding of our livestock, that is the role of protein. Next, it helps to repair the worn out tissues, that is also the role of the protein. And also it improves the production, and it also controls the livestock against the diseases, and that is how Azola is beneficial. Next, how do we apply Azola to our feeds? As I have mentioned, is the feed. Azola, we use it by mixing with the formulated feeds that we formulate by our own company. If you have to venture into Azola farming and you don't formulate our own feed, I could advise you that it is better you formulate the feed because it is less expensive and it is less costly. For our case, we use the maize and the soybeans. The maize we crush by the machine. The soybeans we also crush with the machine. And the maize, as you all know, is a source of energy. It contains carbohydrate. The soybeans is a high of protein. It's also that contain the protein, which also help with the Azola at the same function. And we mix with the Azola. We also mix with the booster. That is, will help the pigs and to grow healthy. The booster is the mineral. The maize is the carbohydrate. The soybean is the protein. The Azola is also the protein. The nutrient that is not present there, as you can see, guys, it is the vitamins. To the pigs, we supplement with the greens, that is the vitamin that helps to control the incidence of diseases. To the poultry birds, we also supplement with the vitamins, that is, we have the horticulture. During pruning, we remove the unwanted plant parts that are not well for human consumption but are well to animal feeds. We also supplement that to the poultry birds. During mixing, we use 1 sack of maize. We mix with the 1 sack of the soybeans, with 1 sack of the wheat bran, with 1 sack of the maize germ. And for the Azola, we use this, as you can see, have the basin here. We use this one full basin that has high protein, that is Azola. And Azola, how can you remove it from the pond? You remove from the pond through harvesting. Harvesting, we use the sieve, as you can see, I have the sieve here. We harvest by, I will show by example as a practical. This is how we harvest Azola. And as you harvest Azola, you ensure you shake well. The reason why we shake well is that we remove the water from the Azola, and because the water can lead to contamination of the feed. After I have harvested the Azola, I am not supposed to dry the Azola before mixing or before feeding. I'm supposed to feed the way it is. The reason behind Azola is fed fresh or green the way it is. When I will dry the Azola, it means that I've removed the nutrient and I'm not doing anything. Because as much as this Azola is exposed to sunshine, it will dry or it will wilt. For each wilting, the nutrients have been removed, that is the protein. As you can see, for the control of the heat or sunshine, we have placed the shade on the top. The shade will help us to prevent the Azola from collapsing. As you can see, in the western, we have high temperatures at some times. That shade will help to control the much sunshine. Compared to other regions like in Limuru, the temperature is not high. So that is how we can do in Azola farming. And during the project, ensure that you do all the management practices required. Thank you. Guys, the management practices for Azolla farming and production are the following. First management is shading. You place the shade to ensure that there is no much sunshine that will help the Azolla to grow well. Next management is harvesting. I have shown you by the practical. This is the management practice. Then the second management practice is that you control the weeds, or that is the hygiene. You ensure that you uproot the weeds in between the Azolla ponds. Next management is that you control and monitor the temperature. When it is during high temperature, you make sure you add the shade if the shade is not enough. During the low temperature, you also monitor the Azolla to ensure that there is no much high temperatures. And I can advise you farmers, the Azolla is best feed ever. Since we implemented in the farm, it has been helpful and it has bring a change. How can I advise you that you also try and implement and see the best of it? Thank you. Farmers and viewers, if you have a goal of venturing into Azolla farming, the procedure of starting is as follows. First, you have to select the place where you want to place the Azolla. You can see here we have the iron sheets on this side. On this side we have the fence here. That means that we have the shade that will help us on the sidewards. Next, you have to erect your shade. You have erected the shade. As you can see, these are the shade nets to prevent the high temperature or high sunshine. Then after that, you have to make the Azolla pond. As you can see, this is our Azolla pond and it's having at 8 meters by 4 meters. This is the length, having 8 meters. That one, the width, having 4 meters. Then after you have, that is demarcation or making dimension. Then you make your Azolla pond. Azolla pond we make 4 feet deep. As you can see, this pond is 4 feet deep. After making 4 feet deep, what you can do next is that you now look for the dam liner. This is the dam liner that I'm talking about. You have to place on the bottom of the Azolla pond, and after placing, you make sure that it is level. After levelizing to the bottom, what you do next, you apply the water. This is the water. As you can see, this water is the fresh, and the water, you avoid the running waters because it has high ammonia that will lead to Azolla not to grow well. It will lead to more algae than more Azolla you expect. Then after I've placed the water, this one I'll show you. I have this sack. This is the sack, I have to say. This sack has the cow dung of the cows. It has 2 buckets, and you have to have 2 sacks. The other sack is there, having also the cow dung, 2 buckets. Then you have to place to your Azolla pond. It is not necessary that you place at the center. You can place it anywhere as long as it is in the Azolla pond. After you have placed, now you look for the Azolla seeds. Azolla seeds are the one we are talking about. These are the Azolla seeds I'm talking about. After you have looked for it, as we sourced it from the Limuru, after that you have to place to your ponds. During placement to your ponds, you ensure you shake before placing. After placing, for us, we placed at this point 2 kg, that point 2 kg also. Then you will wait for 2 weeks or 3 weeks for it to multiply, then you start harvesting. For the Azolla ponds, it is not necessary that you have 8 meters by 4. You can have 6 meters by 4 as long as according to your capital. For the small scale farmers, you can use the basins as you develop slowly, applying the management that I have talked about. That is it.